After completing master's and MPhil degree in statistics, he completed his PhD in management with senior fellowship from CSIR, and he is also alumnus of IIM Ahmedabad, where he completed FTPA. Now, regarding the research and publications, his contribution is huge. He has published 10 books and over 75 research papers, out of which around 25 international conferences he has attended in different countries like USA, UK, Australia, Singapore, Nepal, Bhutan, etc. And interestingly, he writes popular articles for regional newspapers regularly. So presently, he is also the chief editor of peer-reviewed management research journal, Parikalpana, of our KIIT University. And he was former president of Operation Research Society of India, Bhubaneswar chapter. So with, we are very lucky to have him here. So sir, the stage is yours, please start.
Thank you so much for a beautiful introduction. I trust I will not be boring your students and learned participants. If the fellow participants won't mind, at least some of you, 4 or 5 of you can switch on video. At least it will be reassuring for me that you are listening to me, not annoyed with me. At the outset, I must congratulate the entire team. I would be calling it as a revolution, what you have been doing since last 2 years or more. And thanks to your school and all alumni, which includes my daughter also, who is also attending from Pune. And I'm so happy. I'm really honored that I got this invitation to be with you. And I hope I will make some sense. I would start from where our Honorable Vice Chancellor was suggesting that this data science is such an important topic, such an important concept. It's something like a staple food. I'm just putting Professor Mohanty, what he told in the morning. I would just supplement him by telling it is not staple food. It is something beyond staple food, something more important or as important like water and air. So this is, you name any department, name any function, name any sector where data science is not applied. So I am happy to be part of you. I'm also part of your family. I belong to KIIT, and I'm really proud of being associated. Thanks particularly to my dear friend, Professor Siddharth, Professor Manjusha, and Professor Krishna, and all of them. So today, what I'll be doing, I'll be just trying to suggest my young friends from computer science background, why not looking at the social issues? You are a data scientist, computer engineers. If you can really make some value addition to the society, you'll have a lot of satisfaction. So today, I'll be just trying through some examples and bit of research how we can have application and solve some real social issues. I can also quote today's first speaker, who was contextually giving example of US gone culture. I think there was an example of gone for gone, and like what are the incidences of like deaths, and maybe like if we think beyond not only gone for gone, can we also look into the social issues? Can we also think of social solution? If it is only gone for gone, then US must not have retreated from Afghanistan by guarding for 2 decades through gone. And there was something unceremonious exit for US. So what I would drive home today, it is perhaps worthy of looking at social issues and perhaps worth applying our data science to some social issues. So today, I'll be trying to discuss something on which we in social science call as concept, as construct called social development. How do we measure development? Where we are when you're talking of development? First, we'll be trying to understand the concept. Then we'll be trying to list out a few measures, methods, how do we measure social development. I'll be trying to give some examples. You will be very happy to note that happiness is also measured. Maybe some of you might have read newspaper that Bhutanese people are relatively most happy in this world. So when we are contented with what we have, it means we are happy. Why the richest people are not happy? So this is what, like, when you are measuring happiness through a measurement called happiness index, that is also speaks a lot of our real want, need, and requirements. Similarly, there is a need to measure health status, health standard, health infrastructure, and that became very important and prominent when all of a sudden we all faced COVID pandemic, and all nations were really trying their best to supply whatever they have, and the capabilities varied across the globe, across the states, and the hospitals were ill-equipped. And over 2 years, I think we tried our best to improve our health infrastructure. When you want to do something, you need to have data on that, where we are. And particularly when we're talking of social safety, and particularly parent like me, when I would be, like to send my daughter to a city, I'll be surely thinking whether that city or which city is comparatively safer. Is Pune better? Is Bangalore better? Is Bhubaneswar better? Is Ahmedabad better? So can we have some measurement where our kids will be safer? So that is the requirement of measuring safety index. And similarly, we have got social security. And as we know that there are a lot of schemes, thousands of crores of rupees being spent on popular schemes like Jan Dhan Yojana scheme, where we really look at target social equity, social justice, and that can be quantified, that can be measured. And I believe some of you must have heard of a beautiful scheme called Narega or MNRGS, Mahatma Gandhi Rozgar Guarantee Scheme, or Prime Minister Gram Sadak Yojana. So all those schemes involve thousands of crores of rupees we spend every year. Should we not have a track record? What we have done? Have we really progressed? Has the benefit reached the poor or reached the targeted population? So we need huge data. I'll be giving some examples. Say, for example, to be brief, how do we measure development? The popular method is by constructing specialized indices, and we'll be applying one here. And as the rationale, hope you will agree with me, we are spending enormous amount of resources, and we need to check the status of the development at micro level. It could be district level, it could be block level, it could be village level, it could also be household level. And the concept called DBT, direct benefit transfer, even also individually, we keep track how much the benefit has gone to the recipient or the beneficiary. So by tracking this, you are using huge database. And I will be giving some examples here. I'll start with social media data, where you are more active than me. And as you know, in social media, the news, the post, whatever we are having in millions every day, it could be negative, it could be positive, and it could be criminal. So when a lot of criminal activities creeping in, it is the duty of the society, it is the duty of the government to keep track of this huge database. Who is doing what? Say, for example, the recent incidents of Chandipur, when CBI could track, there is something like a honey trapping of a defense personnel or some service provider, they could track it back to Pakistan. Okay, so there is a constant need of checking this huge data. As you may be knowing better, every day, every minute, millions of posts are being posted in one social media called Facebook. If you talk of other social media also, like YouTube, per minute, say some 41 lakh plus videos are being watched every minute. So you can imagine who is watching what, and we need to track that. And we can give many examples. Close home, as you all know, most of us part of KIIT, we are also keeping track of the social activities, not only of the employees, but also of the students. I will be giving one recent example of Pandora papers. I think at least some of you must be knowing, where like some riches, unaccounted money of VIPs of world over is being exposed. To expose this, a consortium, they were working for 2 years, which was released last week, just on 3rd October. Those who have gone through the news, some 11.5 million confidential documents leaked. Can you imagine the need of going through those many pages, those many documents, which will be as high as 2.6 terabytes? So how do we process this? How do we track this? So this is the huge challenge for you, the data scientist. I can give many examples, but I thought of giving some current examples of COVID vaccination, what happened in India. So far, as you might have seen, as high as 91 crore people got vaccinated. So when we are vaccinating, we are keeping data on those who have been vaccinated. It's not one field. It contains so much of data, like who, when, where, by whom, the category, and all sorts of information managed, and we retrieve for decision making. Similarly, I can give one example of our own state government. Very recently, last 2 years, they have opened up online grievance handling process. You can post your public grievance. As you can see from this latest data, which I collected 2 days back, it is like something like 11 million. Okay, so how much being redressed, how much pending cases, which case belongs to which department, which district, which officer should be accountable. You can imagine, unless we handle this huge data, we cannot know where the status is. So through this, I just wanted to drive home how social data management is really a challenge. Now, coming to my paper, what I would be telling us, including me briefly, you are most welcome to have the comment. I was just trying to understand how different indices they are applied and what is the role. Now, today in my paper, I was trying to just understand, can I just have some measure like social safety and security? For this, I have developed one index. I have analyzed different districts of states. Before that, I would like to introduce one of the pioneering index in social development, which was given by none other than P.C. Mahalanobis. P.C. Mahalanobis belonged to one area like you, but he loves social statistics like you. He is the founder of Indian Statistical Institute. He was very close to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and he is termed as the first planner of India. All policies are contributed to P.C. Mahalanobis. Now, he thought of the real social development. Though he was physics turned a statistician, his heart was with the society. He wanted to study how different tribes are really developed. Way back in 1936, he developed a formula which is popularly known as D-square statistics or PC Mahalanobis distance statistics. He wanted to know which particular tribe is developing, underdeveloped, and developed, and how far they are from the mainstream humanity. It is just something like a simple distance or a vector, and where we measure in 2D, 3D concept or multidimensional scaling. To make it very simple, I would be trying to give one example here. Say, for example, we have got 2 points P and Q, and how do we plot them in one 2D graph? As you know, the distance is given by this formula, and if it is extended for other parameters, you can have a generalization where the formula can be extended to this. But we'll be giving one simple example how it will be plotted here. Let's say we are to compare different competing educational institutions, be it in India, be it in Odisha, or globally. To make it simple, let's take 2 parameters here. One is, I'll be denoting as P, stands for public perception on popularity. Let us take one more parameter like Q, that is a quality teaching or placement. I have clubbed it together for simplicity. And say, for example, we have got 4 competing institutes, namely K and XYZ. And you have scored from 10-point scale. Say, for example, some hypothetical data, you got this. And how do you plot this? This is how it may look like. Here you have got x-axis, y-axis, where you plot P and Q. And you have got this. Based on the scores, you are plotting here. So this is the background concept of Mahalanobish D-square statistics, which was applied first to human development, societal development, and particularly to different caste, creed, and tribes. That is very interesting, and it was some epoch-making innovation from a statistician like Mahalanobish, which was given to the world. Now, coming to my paper, which I was just talking last, I also have tried to compare the social security status, what is prevailing now at district level. We could have done it for village level, we could have done it for block level, and we could have compared it across different states of India. It's possible, but make it simple. I've just tried to take the data on crime statistics, and as part of my research paper, as my focus was on social safety and security, I had thought of taking 3 parameters. 1, crimes against child. 2, crimes against backward caste, that's SC/ST, and crimes against women. And it will be compared because we need to convert it to relative measure. So we need to also use some density of population of each district and also literacy rate. And the to my good luck, when I was writing this paper, this particular paper, this report got released by NCRB, National Council for National Crime Research Bureau, and it was just released last month only. What I have done here, I have taken 2 sets of parameters. 1, the negative parameters, the crimes against SC/ST, against women, and against children, and relative parameters. One is gender ratio, another is density of population, another is literacy. And as I just suggested, I had taken this from NCRB report 2020, and this is available at this website. And the model which conceptualized by me, just like a hybrid model, it's nothing great about this. This is the formula which I have applied myself here, and factoring in the factors that I have selected here. So I'm calling it security or the insecurity index of districts. So these are the acronyms where I got data from that report. And first of all, I just wanted to study the bivariate analysis. I think some of the speakers were also highlighting the correlation. I just wanted to understand myself whether these factors are interrelated or has anything to do with other or not. And as is visible here, as I have found from the published data here, as you can please see, and very unfortunate, literacy rate and crime against women is positive. I'm really very sorry to point out this. More we are literate, I don't know why we are not civilized. Okay, so that is a positive correlation. I think the second one, density versus crime against women, it is understood, but the first one, it is really painful to understand. The first one, I don't know. But the silver lining is, and we should note, and we should, this is the finding, I can say proudly, that the gender ratio, if it is better, crime is less. Gender ratio, if it is worse, crime is more. So this is something, a good finding that we can suggest, prescribe, that we need to look to gender ratio. So this is what also, so also the last one is also more revealing, that gender ratio, if it is better, then the crime against the backward class is less. This is something very interesting. I think it is a very interesting finding. I feel worth highlighting here. Now, moving forward, as I suggested, different indicators I had used for construction of this index, and this is detailed in my paper. Just because of the paucity of time, I will not be going into detail, but the final output is like this. I could categorize into 3 categories, like best performer districts, mediocre, and worst performer districts. These are sorted according to the index score. So what we can do, what we can infer, that Sonpur, Khorda, Cuttack, both, they are doing really better. And Mayurbhanj, Angul, Sambalpur, Malkangiri, Rayagada, law and order is not good. We can say clearly here, as for our score here. And in the average line, we have got Ganjam, Raigad, Gajpati, Jaspur. So we have also got respective scores, exact scores. This is available in my paper, which will be published, I guess. And this is what the finding. So this is something, a report which you can give it to government, give it to the planner, give it to the bureaucrats, and the district administration. So like why these districts are really bad. So this is the benefit of this index. Okay. Now moving forward, this can be extended, and I'll be taking only 3-4 minutes. Then I'll be concluding here. So we really need to know, like, how well we are. Are we living peacefully or not? So I'm just indirectly trying to request the young data scientists, if you can apply our collective mind wisdom, how we can really develop a beautiful model which can measure concretely, conclusively, the social well-being of each family, each person. How we can do this? So this is some of the indices available. We can extend it, and just I have suggested in my full paper how we can develop a good index which can measure our well-being, and we can point out this particular area needs attention, this particular region needs attention. So we can take 3 categories of parameters, broad parameters, one from health, another from wealth, another, of course, from demography. Every survey must start with a demographic parameters. And these are the suggested parameters or indicators what I have suggested. And I think because I was given with 30 minutes, I thought I should be very brief. I will not be taking much. And I was telling about some huge data management issue examples, and I'll be concluding with thanks to the team of data science group with my own experience of what we are really viewing. And sorry to tell me and my experience on YouTube. Because of the COVID, as we are going online classes, I thought of uploading my lecture videos. And this is what the YouTube analytics gives. Who is watching my YouTube? What is the age group? What is the gender? And this is also very informative, at least for me. Say, for example, I have in last 2 years about 500 subscribers, close to 15,000 views. And when I'm just like understanding that it's not my KIIT students, it's not from India, from abroad also they are watching. Say, as you can see here, around more than 25% are from abroad, then I should mind my language. I should not use Hindi. I should make it English. So this is what like very informative here. So I hope that many of my young friends must have checked their YouTube analytics. So through this brief presentation, hope I have not let you down. And I just wanted to make it brief in 30 minutes. Over to Krishna Madam, over to my friend Siddharth.
Sir, thank you so much, sir. Sir, your presentation I have heard, I have attended. I was fortunate to attend before as well. Sir, the choice of your topic and the analytics behind your talk, it's so very interesting, so very gripping that all of our students must be having a lot of questions. But then prior to that, I myself have some questions, sir, to you. Sir, regarding the crime data that you have shown, see it's very nicely that you have thought that how to provide parameters to the social insecurity, like you have selected caste, gender, literacy ratio, population. Okay. So, sir, in this and the findings that we have, that one of the shocking findings that you have shared, that the literacy and the crime against women is positive. So, sir, first question to you is what is the idea behind choosing these 4 or 5 parameters which relates to the insecurity? So, basically, the reason that I'm asking that you have not chosen wealth, you have not chosen the economic background. Right, sir? Am I right, sir?
Right.
Yeah.
Actually,
so can you please give insight on that?
Yes. Interesting question. I would love to quote one of the social scientists of Utkal University. I don't know whether my young colleagues may have been knowing or not. She stays close to KIIT campus. She was professor and head of sociology department, Professor Rita Rai. And our founder respects her. She was also a visiting faculty to KSRM. She often tells in public and also has got publication. So the crime against women, particularly domestic violence, she is actually a votary of that. And what is shocking is the mother or the mother-in-law is the greatest, I think, instigator. Okay. So, sorry to cite that. So, economic indicators are there, but it is already found from literature. It is not a strong factor. Whether it is poor, whether it is rich, the crime is there, prevalent. Okay. So, when I have selected some parameter, it is based on the literature review. Suppose like which has been done, verified, which has not been done. So referring to the literature, we need to select some indicators. So this is what the basis of selection of my indicator. Good question. I appreciate it. Like.
Thank you so much, sir. And really, the findings are eye-openers. And I'm sure that all the students will follow that YouTube link. If you can share in if you can share in your mail, I'll share to the students.
Sure.
So Shilpi, I'd like to ask you to, if you can check the questions from the students and ask, sir.
The questions which the students have asked are more or less similar to what you have asked. They are having the same questions. Still, I would like to say the question, that is, how is the parameter assessed and on what basis? This is the question from all of them.
Literature review we do in social science. Yes, we call it SLR, systematic literature review. This is the approach what we apply in social science.
Okay, sir, maybe another question from my side again.
Sure, most welcome.
Yeah, sir, there is a slide you have shown that the happiness index, and that is measured in Bhutan. I think they're the happiest country like that. It was, I read news. So you also, we have heard that it is 75 years of research that Oxford University have done. That, we have read that. So they have found that the root of happiness in humankind actually comes from the love and affection from the near and dear ones, right? So again, sir, if I ask you the same question, that for the happiness index or the well-being index, you have selected the health, wealth. But this factor which were researched in the Oxford University, do you think that it also should be considered, sir?
Yes, in actually wealth, I have put some economic indicators, and I just suggested it is just a conceptual indicative model. It is not a fixed and final. This can be done, number one. Number two, Krishna ma'am, I'm so happy that you have raised really very valid point where our young friends should also take interest, particularly like ease of doing business index. कहाँ बिजनेस आराम से हो पाएगा, बांग्लादेश में, पाकिस्तान में, इंडिया में या चाइना में. क्राइम इंडेक्स, हैप्पीनेस इंडेक्स, हंगर इंडेक्स, पॉवर्टी इंडेक्स, lot of relevant indices are there. So far as 134 indices available, and if given a time some other day, each index actually having very relevant, and it is like Mahalanobish model. It has got a strong history how it has come up, and it takes why it is taking so many parameters. Even also our Odisha also, we have got a lot of interesting paper, and one institute, Krishna ma'am, you may be knowing, Navakrishna Chaudhary Institute of Research. They are also doing a lot of good work in this economic indicator indices. Good question.
Thank you, sir. Sir, if Shilpi, do we have any questions from the students, or I'm taking all the time? Shilpi? Okay. So, sir, thanks a lot again. You are exposing such an area of the societal applications of the data science. I think that our young minds, the students are here. Sometimes, sir, we think that which city to live in. I think that factors also come in, because as we grow in our career and life, and we have children who go to school, so we see what is the crime index of that city. Okay, so definitely it is very insightful, and our students will learn a lot of that from that. And thank you so much, sir. Namaskar from all our school and the data science group.